Hello, my name is Joel Mia. In this task, I will comment on the whole development process and how I progressed from the preliminary tasks to the actual making of my magazine. In my preliminary task, I was set the task to have a look and analyze existing school magazines so I could get a rough idea of the conventions used and use these conventions to create my magazine. The first aspect I had to take in mind was the camera shots used on the magazines, as the shots define the look of the magazine on the whole. So I had to practice a range of camera shots which are normally used on magazines. Standard shot for a magazine cover, I was told in the preliminary task, was a medium close-up, but I practiced this type of shot and then took my real shot for my magazine. I then had to create a layout for my magazine. The existing school covers were analysed with there for inspiration. Layout is a really important aspect of a magazine, so I had to create a good coherent layout so it appeals to readers. After the creation of the layout, I had to make the actual magazine. After creating the magazine, I then analysed and picked out which things went right and where the faults were. After analysing it, I kept the faults in mind so I can correct them in my actual music magazine. After completing the preliminary task, I had to choose the props for my magazine and how I would position my models for the shots. I had to research some similar images in this so I can give an idea of how my artists will look with the props on and the stances they will take up. I then had to look at and analyse existing content pages for inspiration, point out the positives and what went well on the page, and also point out the negatives so I do not make the same mistakes when creating my music magazine. I done the same with the double page spread I researched. I then analysed them, took inspiration from them, and then picked out the positives and negatives. The analysis of the contents page and double page spread really helped me personally, as I mixed and matched my own thoughts with the existing designs of the contents and double page spread to create a unique look of my own. It also helped me in terms of not making any common mistakes on my magazine. I then understood how these pages should look and what things should be included and what things to avoid. I then had to make an interview to include in our double page spread. After analysing the double page spreads, I noticed that most double page spreads have an interview, which is the main feature of it, catches the attention of the readers. So I made my interview as interesting as I could, so it catches the readers' attention. After finishing the creation of my magazine, I realised I learned a lot of things better than I did in the preliminary tasks in terms of hardware and software. I now know what shots are appropriate for a magazine cover, what settings should be used on the camera to get the best quality from a picture. I also know how to use multimedia fireworks better, because in the preliminary tasks I did not know how to use some tools from